Detroit is a fucking cold.
Is it cold?
Callous,
is it really cold in the D?
Honest, brutally honest city. You know what I'm saying? Like, if somebody in Detroit doesn't fucking like you, they're not gonna fuck with you, like, for any reason, and they're gonna let you know they don't like you. Out here, like, somebody might hate your fucking guts, but they'll swallow that because they might view you as being able to help them gain something that they don't have the ability to gain. You know what I'm saying? Like, and the fucking weather, man. Oh, LA weather. It's so beautiful. It is beautiful. But I come from the Midwest. I like seasons. I like variety. And the problem that I kind of have about the weather out here is it's some of the most beautiful weather you'll experience in, I'm not going to say the world, but in this country. You know what I'm saying? And they can't even really appreciate it. 'Cause they take it completely for granted. You know what I'm saying? Because if you haven't had to shovel a fucking foot of snow or, clean the branches after a fucking tornado or rake the leaves, you gotta rake leaves out here, I guess. But you get what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just the same shit. And I've grown to love it. I love the shit out this motherfucker now. Like, for real. I'm glad that, the past is the past and the present is the present and the future is going to be the future. But, a lot of people take shit for granted. And I've come to learn that you can't take anything for fucking granted. God damn it. Because I'll slap the shit out of you.
Why is that?
Just for no good reason. I'm from Detroit.
And we're in your house.
Pretty much. Shoes off. Now what's next? Are we done?
No, we're not done.
Okay.
That was a good closer. That was a good closer. So
right.
like,
he goes like this. Like, okay. I'm like,
yeah, I gave you the Ashley Judd.
Right.
All right. Yeah, no. So you're in LA now. You fucking hate the place.
No, I love it.
In the beginning.
Well, yeah, in the beginning.
Not a fan. How musically, kind of, who did you first kind of link, or did you friends in general? Who did you kind of first make links with?
J1, Jordan, my roommate. I met J1 at Do Over, like maybe a month after I moved out here. Midwest cat, cool as fuck. Who else was I fucking with? Tarak, Sean Jackson, the whole A-Side crew, you know what I'm saying? Now on. Haircut, y'all know him as Mayor Hawthorne now. Yeah, there's a lot of cats I was fucking with. Chris Clark, a lot of dudes, you know what I'm saying? A lot of local heavyweights. On the DJ tip, super cool Redmatic. All the Beat Junkie homies. Yeah, so I just kind of started building my squad up, my alliances.
So it's kind of just like kindred spirits from the jump, huh?
Definitely.
Well, they probably already knew who you were. I mean, just kind of come from back east.
Yeah.
When did you kind of feel like you kind of got your foot planted a little bit musically out here?
I still don't feel like that. Putting a record out finally, so that's gonna change some shit. I don't know, man. It's funny. You do shit here and there, and I know that the cats is checking for me out here, but. You do your own night. You could be on somebody else's shit and it'll be popping. Then you do your shit and it might not necessarily pop that hard. But, me, I'm not a promoter. I don't give a fuck. I just go up to the bar and play some records. That's all that I'm really trying to do. That's all I really can do. When I got when the Do Over record came out, that made me feel real good because that was the first time I finally had a record that was house shoes. Everything else was... a record, I produced for this motherfucker, or a record that I connected the dots on and made happen in another scenario. But when I finally got my own shit out, like, it felt really good. Even though it was just one track on the B-side with Lotus, you know what I'm saying? It was still a very major accomplishment in my eyes.
DJing-wise, were you kind of not giving a fuck in terms of trying to get a spot popping like you had in Detroit?
Well, I did, when I came out here, I did Shoes House in Hollywood on Cahuenga at the Room. That was fucking fantastic. That shit was really fun. Had a lot of cats come out and perform. Black, Frank and Dank. Great times. And when I first moved out here, I never cleaned my record collection at all. Like, go through and just kind of comb out the bullshit that I bought. I just had all the records that I got from the time I started digging, period. So I went through all my shit and, like, started pulling out U-Haul boxes and packing them up. And I'd bring, like, 3 or 4 U-Haul boxes to the club with me, to the room every Tuesday. And it would be dope. Like, every week there'd be, like, 5 or 6 cats waiting for me to pull up so they could be the first ones in the crates, you know. Flip some of them records, you know, make some decent money on the bar night. So it was cool, man. We had some real classic nights. But then they shut down and remodeled and kind of strung me along the whole time, saying we was going to get something popping. And then, you know, when they got to opening back up, they wouldn't answer their phone calls and shit. They kind of got on that Hollywood bougie shit for a few years. They're kind of back on the regular shit now. But I was blessed to have that last leg of, you know, being able to have a dirty-ass venue right in the middle of Hollywood, because the room was kind of like the last vestige of, like, a little grimy spot right in the middle of all this fucking flowery, polished, extreme shit, you know.
What do you kind of see your taste evolving when you're out here, record-wise? I mean, do your taste kind of change or not really?
I barely play, like, from the crib, I barely play rap shit anymore. You know what I'm saying? I got fucking probably thousands of records that I haven't listened to since the day I bought them. So I just spend my time at the crib just playing my jazz records or, you know, some old prog rock shit or soul shit, just going through that and just keeping the good vibes up at the crib. Then when I get out in the streets, you know, I'll put my headphones in my phone and listen to some dirty punch your mama in the face type shit.
Do you feel now, kind of being a little bit older, being on a different coast, being a father, like, you kind of feel like
I'm growing up?
Yeah.
Hell, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was running for that shit for a long time. I opened my arms to it now. Shit. I'm about to be 37 years old in a couple of weeks. I'm blessed. It's a lot of motherfuckers that ain't got there.
True.
And, you know, I have major responsibilities now. I'm a father. I'm about to be a father to a second. I'm about to have a daughter, you know, in a few months. So, yeah, it's a whole new ball game, man. There's a lot of pieces of the knucklehead still around, but I'm just trying to balance that shit with some more mature decision making, if you know what I'm saying.
So the past, you just let it go, huh?
Yeah. No more fucking fifth of Hennessy in the night, you know, pissing on a motherfucker's couch. Can't do that anymore. It's funny, like, as soon as I had the baby, best example is Fat Beats. You know, I worked at Fat Beats. And as soon as James came, you know, the usual, you know, order of things, shop closes up, somebody goes to the store, gets some Hennessy, somebody rolls up like 3 or 4 blunts, and we play records and get high and drunk. As soon as James came, that desire just left. Like, I've been at the shop for 8-10 hours. My son's at the crib, getting older. Like, I'll see y'all tomorrow. You ain't smoking shoes? It's funny, Johnny Juice. What up, Johnny? That's my man. He's the manager of the store when I first started working there. And he used to fucking cut into me like, oh, you getting soft shoes? Yeah, all right, daddy, go home and breastfeed and shit like that. He had a baby.
Right.
Like about a fucking year ago almost. And that motherfucker's barely smoking at all. And he used to fucking chief, like, heavy. So whenever I see him, we kind of talk and laugh about that shit. Like, you motherfucker, you used to think I'd come and say I was getting soft and shit. It ain't about that. It's just about growing the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to go home smelling like weed and Hennessy and just being out of touch. You know what I'm saying? Being all buzzed up when I get to the crib. I want to be fucking clear and sober and see my fucking family.
You do knock-knock jokes with your son.
Right. Knock-knock.
So that brings us to present, man. That's a good wrap-up on kind of the prelude.
Yes, it is.
To the present. So where do we go from here, man?
Up.
Up.
Yeah. Progression. That's what I'm all about.
So what do we got? What do we got cooked up? Future episodes of Shoes House.
We're gonna talk about some more shit. We're just gonna talk about all kinds of, you know, shit. Talk about food, cars.
Talk to the camera, man. Let them know. Address the listener directly. Let me get out of the way.
What are we talking about? I thought we were done. What do you want me to address?
I don't know.
We're gonna talk. I got a record coming out in June.
Don't talk to me. Talk to them.
I'm not talking to you, dog. I'm talking to the camera.
Oh, well, do what you do.
There's not a bunch of people in the camera. I'm talking to a camera. They'll see it. I'm not talking to them right now. June. Top of June, 2012. House Shoes, Let It Go. 20 years in the making. Yeah, man, I'm happy about it. That's what we're going to talk about in the next one. How that came to be and what's all involved with the creation and execution of that record. And the pressure that comes along with being in the game for 20 years and finally having a fucking album come out. Stressful. I got an ulcer.
Whose house?
Shoes House.